This is the Tree of Life, Season 7, Chapter 8. In this episode, we will be integrating the concepts of a web of associations with an archetypal constellation through the concept of the affirmational structure. To start out, self-conscious impulses reflect particular verbalization patterns, grammar, syntax, word choice, which ultimately produce word associations. These verbalization patterns are transmitted through the self-consciousness of an impulse, in the affirmation corresponding to a particular intersection. In other words, the archetypal constellation of a person, being their relationships, produce overlapping verbalization patterns and hence word associations. These word associations, or the web of associations of an actor, generates a particular affirmational structure. Thus, the loosening of associations through negation causes two effects. First, it disassociates particular words, manifest in the verbalization patterns of the social actor. But it also transmits within an archetypal constellation, just as word associations do, through each intersection. In other words, an archetypal constellation is linked to a particular web of associations, which is an affirmational structure created by the self-consciousness of each intersection and the relationships which produce the affirmational structure. To put it another way, verbalization patterns are transposed from one actor to another through the self-consciousness of an affirmatory exchange. This produces a kind of overlap corresponding to the verbalization patterns of socially linked, or archetypal linked individuals. Now, negational structures represent the disassociation of particular words. Negational structures are created by sublimation, which involves the direct alteration of one's own verbalization patterns to reflexively alter through self-consciousness the verbalization patterns of others. In other words, negational structures create new word associations within a verbalization pattern, but they are produced via the elimination of particular associations. The echoes or ripples created by negational structures are actually produced by the sublimatory process, which impacts others within an archetypal constellation by weakening the associations of others' verbalization patterns through self-consciousness. Thus, it is fair to say that affirmational structures can be transmitted through verbalization patterns, according to particular word associations. That's the end of the podcast for today.